which I'm now doing every morning. This is one of the things that dogs teach you. They teach you how to be in nature because they have to poop every morning and you have to take them for a walk. Now Nancy's good. She gets up every morning and she goes out for her walk or run for 40 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half, and I just can't get myself out of bed. But I love these little dogs, and I knew, like having babies, your life changes when you have a dog or a baby. So I committed myself to getting up half hour, 45 minutes earlier, 5:20, 5:30 instead of 6 o'clock, and walk them. And one of the things I discovered about dogs when they walk is they notice everything. A lot of it they notice through their nose. I mean, any little thing on the ground, they have to stop. You could be walking along and they'll just stop and pull your arms out of your sockets. When I was beginning my walk, I'm still time obsessed. See, when I do psychotherapy, every session's 50 minutes. So it makes me kind of anal when it comes to time, rigid. And everything's on a clock. So we're taking the walk, and I'm looking at my watch. Okay, I can go 15 minutes this way and 15 minutes that way. Okay, going uphill, so I probably can go back farther downhill. I'm thinking all this stuff. And then I look at my dogs, and they're just fat, dumb, and happy, enjoying nature. So one of the things God was teaching to me through my dogs was he said, pay attention to what's around you. Get lost in this. Don't miss it. And you might find a little peace to start your day. And so I did. That morning, it was kind of foggy. You might be able to see maybe 30, 40 yards up the road. And I said, what is God saying to me through this fog? And I just had to let myself feel what was around me. Not think with my head, but just feel how God was speaking. And he said, this fog is like a blanket. And you're my baby. And wherever you go, I hold you. I cuddle you. I caress you. I hold you even in my arms, even in those times when you're going through hell. I wrap you in my blanket. And then a ways up the road, the fog got really thick. And you could see maybe from here to that dock away from you. And I just tried to feel, not think, but feel my way into what God was telling me through this thick fog. You know what he said? He winked and he smiled. He said, don't even try to figure me out. I am such a mystery. The best you can do is live about 5 feet in front of you today. That's all you can do. And if you do that well, if you enjoy the next step, the next moment, the next part of the walk, and just let yourself get lost in it, eventually you'll string together a life that you can feel good about. And then when I got to the top of the hill, we live on a big hill too, it's a mile up, it seems like everywhere there's a hill, the sun broke through. And I tried to feel my way into what is God saying now. And that one was pretty obvious. That when you lose hope and you have no direction, maybe when you feel like you're at the end of your days, the light will always come to you. When people have near-death and death experiences and come back, they always report a bright light piercing that what they describe as a murky, dark fog. The light always comes. And then, we were coming down the road, I saw a dead rabbit in the road. Something had hit it, and it chopped its butt off. It was grotesque, and there was blood all over it. Cute little rabbit. And I tried to feel my way into what is God teaching me through this rabbit who's just been mangled. And it was as if God was saying, this can happen to you anytime. This can happen to you anytime. Look around on this dock. There's a chance that some of us won't be here next summer because we'll be taken. It can happen anytime. So just soak it up, minute by minute. Don't get all obsessed and worried about that. But just be glad that we have this church. and that we have each other. Who would have thought, after our church was burned, after we felt flattened and bloodied and left in the road for dead, that we'd be here? Remember the hymn of promise? In every end, in the end there is a beginning. When you die, it's not the end, it's the beginning of a much better life. When you die, the pain that you feel and the terror that you feel is only the same terror that a baby feels as it's going through a dark birth canal. And all the evidence tells us from people who have had near-death experience that the other side is wonderful and beautiful, that is to this world the way this world is to a baby in a dark uterus. It can happen at any time. Again, I was talking to Bill, I don't know when it was, but recently. And we were talking about, if I may, did you call him Daniel? Dan Bennett? He was telling me the story of what happened to Dan. See if I've got it right. It was winter. He was driving his tractor up the hill. Manure spreader behind. Manure spreader slipped and flipped the tractor, pinning him under the wheel. And I know that neighborhood was never the same since. And I wonder how many walks you and Iva took, maybe to that same pond, I don't know, trying to sort out what in God's creation is going on. God can take us at any time. So hold each other's hand today if you're with a loved one. Give each other lots of hugs as you see each other at a picnic. Because you never know. You also have faith that whatever happens, even on that day, Dan was slipping into a much better world where the sun was shining. And life was at least as good as this, probably. And finally, nature has a sense of humor. If I'm taking my little dogs for a walk up the hill, I'm trying to get them to poop. And little Polly's tiny, and I think her poop canal is smaller than Molly's. We haven't got to the X-lax point, but I've thought about it. So we got to the top of the hill with these two little dogs. Molly still hadn't gone. We're a mile out already. But at the top of the hill, there's 3 horses in a corral. So what's really cool is these dogs bark a lot, you've heard. But when it comes to the horses, they sit down and they just look at the horses. I think they think the horses are God. They have such majesty about them. And they do if we look at them as humans. And they're so beautiful and so gentle looking that the dogs are just in a trance. So as we're sitting there, Molly hasn't pooped yet, the horse lifts its tail and lets out this huge brown steamer in the morning light. Polly looks at the horse, squats, and responds in kind. And so I thought, what is God trying to say to me through the horse poop and the dog poop? And so I sat there and I tried to feel my way into the horse poop. And what I came up with was this. You all know we have a horse farm down the other end of our property around the corner that has 50 horses. And I take my little Prius and hook my John Deere wagon, I go over and I shovel compost and horse poop so I can grow it and rototill it into my flower gardens. And it's really reached their pinnacle this year. People will drive up the driveway to look at it. It looks like it's in a magazine or something. It just makes our hearts swell when we do it. And I thought, wow, we pass these flowers around. And I thought to myself, wow. You go, Woody. Oops. Just pass them back and everybody take the flower as quickly as you can. Pass these around. there looking
Bill.
at the flower, and I realized that a lot of the horse manure that I put into the ground, and I need some back here.
Bill, talk louder and face them too.
Everybody got one?
Huh?
So I do that all
On the
summer.
boat.
I got this little kind of micro rototiller that tills
Need
between
something
the
from-
flowers and really gets it in. So now the dirt is like loam. It's really nice. It's got lots of manure and stuff in it. And so as I was feeling my way into the horse coop, I realized that what just came out of the horse's butt sat and was composted for 20 years, some of it, just sat there, not knowing what was going to become of it. And this horse had no clue either, obviously. And then I take it 20